Woo!
Anybody can do flip tricks on a perfect flat ground. If you don't believe this, just watch for 1 more minute. The Andy Rodeo was said to be impossible even for professionals until recently. However, 90% of people in my lesson can do it right away. Let me first show you the proof. All of these people tried this technique for the first time a few hours ago. And yet so many people have been able to do it. Some of them are beginner snowboarders and could do it in 30 minutes. It is actually very easy once you get the feel for it. First, I'll eliminate your 3 doubts. The first, isn't it dangerous? If you practice in the way I teach you, you won't fall on your head or neck. As proof, I have taught more than 200 people, and not a single one of them has suffered even a minor injury. The second doubt, these people already were good to begin with, weren't they? Not at all. Beginner boarder who has been snowboarding for 2 months or have only been on the board for 10 days can do it. Even people who can do the single sideways spin can do it. Men, women, children, and fat old men can do it too. So there's no reason why you can't do it. The third doubt, they only show people who can do it. This is not true either. I have taught more than 100 snowboarders last year. These 6 snowboarders shown here today were my last group of the lesson, and I only record the videos of their lessons. As you can see, the snow on the side of the hill has turned brown, which shows this video is recorded in March. Make sure you understand these 3 doubts. Have I convinced you that you can do the Andy Rodeo with your current abilities? Now let's see together what steps they took and how they were able to do it. Hello, I'm Bkoji. I'm really making this video with the intention of changing your life. Seriously, the Andy Rodeo can be done by all mankind. So now let me show you the safest and the fastest way to do it. This is a revolutionary way to practice that is not taught anywhere else. Step 1, the table flip. Here we go again, the table flip. The feeling of rolling sideways is used more often in snowboarding. Let's do it. Even the back flip starts out on the side, not the back. Watch this video to see how to do it. The case of Andy Rodeo, you do the Andy first. So the direction of the Andy is opposite of the Tamedog and front flip. So for this table flip which you fit before you do it, there are 3 key points. 1, can you roll on the correct axis? Note, this is not forward roll. 2, are your feet going above? Put your feet through like this. 3, don't put your hands down. The number 1 injury of doing the Andy Rodeo is the wrist and shoulder. Injury caused by putting your hands down in an odd position. So make sure your hands aren't in contact with the table or your friend's back. The only time your hands should touch anything is when you land. If you don't do this, your Andy Rodeo will end up like this. If you're doing this, it will take a long time to do the Andy Rodeo and you will get hurt, which is not good. You probably heard of the next step too. Step 2, rolling the board. This is all there is to it, but this is surprisingly difficult. Many people slip sideways. The board will shift to either the 2 side or heel side, and you won't be able to roll properly. To prevent this from happening, the center of gravity should be placed in the middle of the board, and you roll using the tip of the tail. Do this on a perfectly flat surface first. Make sure you can do the step 2 before you go into the step 3. Step 3, the Andy. This movement is called the Andy. This is what gives momentum to the rodeo and allows the vertical flips. Without it, the difficult level increases considerably and becomes a move called the backside nollie rodeo. There are 3 points to the Andy. The first is shifting the center of gravity. As shown here, the center of gravity placed on the front foot and the back foot is brought forward. The first, you can spin the board sideways using a stop motion. After you get used to it, increase the shift to your center of gravity and never slow down. Second, it's not a 180. The Andy is said to be the half spin, but isn't. If you make a 180 Andy when you jump, the board will fly sideways and you won't be able to use the board properly. It's actually around 120 to 115 degrees. This way, when you leave the ground, you can use the tip of the board at 180. Third, pivot or slide. There are 2 main types of Andy. Pivot where the feet are lifted significantly, and the slide where the feet are not lifted. Either type can be used as long as center of gravity is shifted largely. I can do both, but I prefer the slide. That's because it's easier to use the edge. That we'll talk about later. But don't worry these two types of Andy just yet. As long as you can switch your feet somewhat, you should be fine. Step 4, the tortoise Andy rodeo. Now we finally do a flip. But even if you can do this consistently, it's still scary to speed up, right? So this is the first step. Do the Andy rodeo at 1 kilometer per hour. Let's do it at the speed of turtles. Of course, you can let your back touch the ground. Doing this fast will make it easier to avoid injury. In the event of future Andy rodeo failures, you won't make any bad habits. You only have to think of rolling. Just slide slowly, Andy and flip vertical so that the board doesn't slip sideways. It may not look like it, but it will feel like you've been flipped. Now you are almost there. It's okay if the board sticks on the snow at first. You can do step 4, you are ready for step 5. Together Andy rodeo. Now with this direction, your Andy rodeo is mostly complete. Up to step 4, you have to Andy and then do a Tamedog. It's just a single vertical flip. Now I teach you to twist 90 degrees from that. You may think,
I don't feel like I can stand up even after one vertical flip, so I can twist.
but as I've said many times before, most people can do the Andy rodeo in 3 hours. By the way, I can do the one vertical and one horizontal flip on the flat ground, but I can't do a Tamedog on the flat ground. Only about 2 people in the world can do it. Isn't it interesting? So,
Don't twist for now. Let's strive for perfection.
it's incredibly long. All you need is to get the center of gravity right in the step 4. Once you can do that, let's move on to this step, the kneeling landing. This kneeling position, the dogeza, is a way to express the highest level of respect in Japan. Thank you for always watching me. To get into this posture, and look over the left shoulder a little bit in the direction of rotation and twist. Just 90 degrees is fine. So you don't need to concentrate much. Avoid sticking left nose, which used to stick before. It should look like this. Aim to land on all fours with both feet on the ground. This is a common mistake. It shouldn't be so focused on the twisting before you jump that you lose your use of the tip of the board. You can do a 90-degree twist with no prior action. Half of people can twist using Andy's initial. I don't even have to teach you anything for you to accomplish this non-unique landing. Therefore, please make sure you can do these 3 things. Perfect access, body landing, and bounce off the board. Make sure you can do it anytime. Then next is the final step. Step 6. Gradually. As you get used to it, gradually increase the speed. If you suddenly increase the speed to normal, you will develop bad habits. Instead, increase the speed of gradually to the extent that you don't feel fear. Start with a turtle, then a slow lollies, then a sloth, and so on. Just kidding, it's the other way around. Let's all be like interesting sloths. You know what I mean, right? In other words, the speed should be as slow, but give it all. In step 5, you have reached the state where you're rolling like this. Then gradually jump higher. The center of gravity should be slightly higher than the trajectory of the roll. Actually, what I want to say in step 6, gradually is not so much the speed, but lift the center of gravity. If you cannot do this, it is impossible to stand up on flat ground. In other hand, if you use a drop off, you can stand up without this feeling. In this way, it is possible to stand while falling if you use a drop. However, what we want to achieve is to make it on a completely flat terrain, right? To stand at even a perfectly flat surface, you need to jump up, not fall down. Here to practice to help you jump upwards at this moment. The first is to be aware of your heel edge. Now earlier I said,
Be a sloth.
You may have an impression that a sloth is hanging off from the tree. But in fact, they aren't using their muscle at all. Just as a hanger hangs from a clothesline without muscle, the sloth is only hooked by its claws. The same is true in the Andy rodeo. Look at this example. He doesn't do the board tip, weight shift, aerial posture, or actions very well. However, the heel edge is unusually well down. So even though he is so spread out in the air, he is able to flip. When I saw this for the first time, I was also surprised. I thought,
How can he flip like this?
A simple two-leg jump with almost no board rebound is just barely able to make one vertical flip. Just by putting the heel edge in the family, the lower body is completely fixed and anyone can do jump upwards. I thought my Andy Rodeos up until now were pretty much heel edge as well. But last season, I became even more aware of the heel edge and was able to do Andy Rodeo 720 better. So even if you think you have it, I would like you to check it again. And the second way to jump up instead of forward, the bump Andy Rodeo. This one is easy. By doing Andy Rodeo on bumps, your center of gravity is automatically raised and you are sent upwards. Let's feel it and do it on your own. By the way, there are over 10 ways to practice this. So please feel free to consult with me at any time to discuss what works with your habit. Let's try to gradually make it to this level by practicing various exercises. Only elbows and shoulders are allowed to touch the ground. It should feel like this whenever you do it. To be honest, I was this level until recently. If you are where I was 2 years ago, you can definitely do it in 3 hours. Then a year later, you'll be able to do the Andy Rodeo 720, which only a few people in the world can do. Seriously, if you come to my lesson, you can do it safely as fast as possible. As a reminder, please don't think that if you can't do it on your own, you can't just take my lesson. As you can see, about half of students are able to do it until they can stand up properly. If this level is good enough for you, 90% of my students can do it. If you have a bad habit from doing it by yourself, the probability of being able to do it in my lesson will be reduced. I also offer online video advice, so please send me your current situation. Even the 6 people in this video got into bad habit once. Unlike the sideways rotation, there are countless bad habits to be picked up in the Andy Rodeo. Be careful not to injure your wrist, back, neck, etc. when the bad habits explode. Now, what do you think? Do you know that Andy Rodeo is something you can do even with your current skills? Skeptics may have thought,
because it's trying to lead me into a lesson.
However, I don't think most people like this thinking.
All of these videos are lies, and Andy Rodeo is extremely difficult.
I'm happy just to have cleaned up your misunderstanding. Thank you for watching. Seriously, everyone can do the Andy Rodeo. So if you decided to do it on your own, you'll be able to do it on your next slope. If you wanna take my lesson, please message me. No matter how much preparation you do beforehand, it's enough to stabilize the trampoline Andy Rodeo and stationary board roll. Really don't do anything else. I'm looking forward to hearing your
I did it!
comments. Have a nice Andy Rodeo life. Bye.